Hello everyone, I just want to thank you for taking out the time to view this video about our legal services um, from Legalshield, obviously. And what this video will convey to you is that at least you will understand our products and services, and maybe this will help you protect yourself and your family. So first off, I would like to start off by saying yes, I will be reading from something, and enjoy. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is our product. So with Legalshield, there's, for the plan options, there's two of them. You can either choose an individual or a family. So right now I'm going to talk about the family plan, and the only difference between the two is obviously the individual plan will only cover one person versus a family. So I'm going to start off by asking you a couple of questions. Feel free to answer them in the comments. Have you ever signed a document or contract? I know I have. You ever had a cell phone? I'm sure you signed a contract there. Unless it's prepaid, I don't believe we sign contracts for prepaid, but if you're on a plan, yes. Have you ever signed a document agreeing to work in your home or in your car? Well, it's the same difference. And have you ever been in a situation where you signed something and you wish you talked to a lawyer before you did? Have you ever been treated unfairly or overcharged? I know I have. I've been to many retail or food establishments where I felt that I've been treated unfairly. I have not been overcharged because I always use coupons. But nevertheless, people do come across that issue. Have you ever received a speeding ticket or a traffic ticket? Unfortunately, I have not received a speeding ticket, so I'm very happy to say no, I have not. But most people have, and usually what happens after that is, you get a ticket, you go to court, you plead guilty, do traffic court, pay the fine, and points are still on your record, right? Well, with Legalshield, you have an option to have an attorney go to court for you and at least get it reduced to a non-moving violation, and the points would be removed in some cases off your DMV record. Have you patronized a store that's been that has a data breach? Well, we've all have. Target, Home Depot. Back in December of 2015, two children's companies were breached. One was VTech, and unfortunately, I'm drawing a blank on the other one, but there was another children's company that was patronized. So over 60 million kids' passwords, identities, names, and hints were stolen. So imagine that. Your kid at the age of 12 or 8, or whatever age, it doesn't really matter, has a mortgage in Philadelphia, where he lives in San Diego, or he or she lives in San Diego, wherever the case may be. It happens, unfortunately. How about, have you ever been in a situation where you thought the advice from an attorney would be viable? I know I have, and I'm sure many of you have as well. Just getting that knowledge, knowing that what you're doing is okay and you're not going to have any problems, is a great empowering feeling. I definitely encourage you to, use these services so you can understand the benefits and how it helps and protects you and your family. So a little bit more about our services. With the individual and the family plan, you will get unlimited personal advice. Think of this. Back when cell phones were popular and Singular was still around, and we needed to make a call. Unfortunately, half of us would wait until after 9 o'clock or 7 when our minutes were free to make that call. This is unlimited amount of personal advice you can get from the attorney. I've called a couple times this month. For an example, I want information to protect my business, my nonprofit business that I will be creating for myself here in the future. I did get some advice and got some information of where I can have reference to trademarking my company name. So that was definitely a blessing, because otherwise I will be Google searching probably right now trying to get information of how to trademark my company name or a business. So definitely saves time. So that's a plus in itself. You get 24-hour emergency access in an emergency situation. For instance, if you're in a car accident and you just got hit or hit someone, whatever the case may be, you would be able to get your attorney on the phone, and talk to them so they can help you through that situation. Or let's say if the CPS comes knocking on your door in the middle of the night trying to take away your children, you have a recourse, and that is to call your attorney. You have 24-hour access in an emergency situation. Letters and calls made on your behalf. If you excuse me 1 minute. Oh, I don't think I have that information with me. I usually keep samples of letters with me. Here we go. So this is an example of an attorney letter. You see all these names up here? When companies get that, when you're in the middle of a problem and you need your lawyer to help you fix something, when they get a letter like this, they're going to pay attention to it. Because when you and I call to complain about a situation, we go to customer service. When your lawyer calls or writes a letter on your behalf, it goes straight to the legal department and it is fixed. So in this situation here, there was a person that had a traffic ticket matter. This moving got a moving violation going 18 miles over the posted speed limit. He contacted his Legalshield law firm, and they represented him in court. He got the ticket dismissed. Therefore, it did not affect his insurance rates. And obviously, it's different per state or whatnot. So that was pretty cool. So that's one instance. Another letter here. Again, is you see all these names here? It scares people into taking your case seriously. This member here went to Subway Sandwich and ordered a sandwich. He requested extra toppings, lettuce, and tomatoes. He was denied. He felt that he was being discriminated against because of his accent. The Legalshield law firm wrote a letter on his behalf, and he received a free sandwich. So in any sense, when you feel discriminated against or treated unfairly, most people don't even think to contact their lawyer because we've already been priced out. But not in this case. With Legalshield, it helps bridge that gap so we can have that communication and that knowledge, that power to get that information from the lawyer so we know our next step. So that's pretty cool. The last letter I'm going to read is about a member who called their law firm when a corrective pin, like a whiteout pin, exploded onto the laptop. The pin caused damage that were irreparable. So obviously he would call the company that was the maker of the of the computer, and then he called the maker of the correction pin, and all he would get from them was the runaround. Oh, it is a computer's fault. Oh, it's the correction pin's fault. Well, eventually he got tired of going through the runaround, and he contacted his lawyer. When Legalshield wrote a letter on his behalf, he received a check in the mail for $2,000. Well, you can't see it, but this is a check in the mail for $2,000 for his repair, all because he contacted his law firm knowing that he was being treated unfairly and he couldn't get anywhere himself. So that's great. Legalshield is great in that matter. Also, they will review contracts and documents up to 15 pages. So that's cool. When you're in the middle of purchasing a car, you want to make sure everything is fine and you're not being overcharged for taking the car off the lot. Because they have to wash it and get it cleaned and get charged $800 for that. All that can be eliminated if you have your lawyer contact your lawyer and have them review your contract before signing or purchasing anything. Lawyers also will prepare a living will, your will, and power of attorney. It's very important. As for me, I work in the medical field, so I understand the importance of having a will and having a power of attorney. Because when you're over the age of 18, you can no longer speak for your children. And if they get into a situation when they can't speak for themselves, it's very important, or even for your mom or dad or sister, brother, cousin, whomever, it's very important to have that power of attorney, because what will happen is the state will come in and take over this case and decide what's in the best interest of this patient. And that's not always the best thing. It's always important to protect yourself and your wishes. Be sure to have a will, a power of attorney, and a living will. It's very important as well. Legalshield gets over 200 million requests annually for issues like a living will and power of attorney. They also deal with, like we stated earlier, traffic related issues, IRS audit assistance. So it's pretty cool. Many of us have received letters in the mail from the IRS stating we owe this amount, and we do nothing but grit our teeth, try to get some information about it, and eventually end up swallowing our pride and having to pay for it. Well, not in this case. At least we have the opportunity to talk to the lawyer for them to review the information and determine if the amount is correct or not. And if it is not, obviously they will send a letter on your behalf to the IRS, which obviously will be corrected. So it also covers civil trial defense. So if someone's suing you, you have access to a lawyer at no additional cost. So that's pretty amazing. There are pre-trial hours that are already built into your plan, and each year you get a certain amount of new plan hours. I think at 5 years it tops out at 60 hours. Did you know the O.J. Simpson case was less than 60 hours? So if you need more than that, you are in serious trouble. Again, that tops out at 5 years. I believe you get 10 years or 10 hours every year. Otherwise, you can buy additional hours for like $10, which is not nothing. So everything that I mentioned and that I did not mention are still covered by the law firm. And it also covers pre-existing issues, and so that's pretty cool. So if you sign on and already have an issue that you need to talk about to a lawyer, it's covered. So that's pretty amazing. At a discounted rate, which is 25% off of their rate. If you are doing the suing, if you're defendant, they can also protect you as well with 25% off. So what's covered? Who's covered? So for the family plan, obviously you have the member, the spouse, never married, dependent children living, including college students under the age of 26 and living at home. So that's pretty amazing, because a lot of us, let's face it, still have our college grads still living at home. It's very hard out here in this world trying to get them that experience so they can get on their feet and start living for themselves. So this is a great option for them. So they can also get protected and have their student loans looked at and make sure they're not being taken advantage of the school regarding contracts and everything like that. It also covers dependent children under the age of 18 whom the member is the legal guardian. It also protects mentally and physically disabled children living at home for their complete for their lifetime. So that's pretty amazing too. I want to pause right there and start talking about 101 reasons to use Legalshield, because it's very important for us to protect ourselves. Unexpected legal questions arises every day, and with Legalshield on your side, you'll have access to quality law firm for covered personal situations, even 24-hour emergency situations, no matter how traumatic or trivial. So that's pretty big. Whether it's big or small, Legalshield has your back no matter what. I just want to read off a couple of reasons why situations where legal advice will be warranted. How about if a creditor tries to illegally collect? How about if a creditor tries illegal collection tactics to try to get you to pay their bills? Well, guess what? It's illegal. They can't do that. If you feel like you're being taken advantage of, Legalshield has your back. How about if you lose an expensive watch at a hotel and the manager denies liability? You know what? That happens a lot, where you go out of town and you have your expensive watch or your jewelry and it's lost, and the hotel claims no liability, and if you don't have insurance on it, you're kind of asked it out. And what do you do from here? Well, you contact your legal shield attorney, and they'll get it straightened out for you. Another situation is, how about if you adopt a child? There's so much overwhelming stuff that comes with adopting a child. You have paperwork you have to fill out after paperwork after paperwork. Well, with Legal Shield, help ease that stress and talk to your lawyer. How about if you need a copyright for a manuscript? Well, that's also covered. How about if you had a repair job done in your house, and a couple weeks later it's no longer working and they're not standing by their work anymore? Well, guess what? Legal Shield will have you protected. Another situation I would like to talk about is if let's see, what's a good one here? How about if your hairdresser damages your hair with chemicals? Guess what? There's a recourse for that. My point here is, people, it is important to have your rights protected. Otherwise, it's like not having any rights, because you're going blind at it. Most people don't know where to turn because we've been outpriced. Here in California, it's about $300 to $400 to talk to a lawyer about any issue, just to get an advice on the topic. How about to write a letter? It costs about, depending on the experience of the attorney, it can cost anywhere from $75 to $400 just to get an attorney to sign a letter on your behalf. Another situation I would want to talk about is, how about if you shop online? Let's say, for instance, eBay, and you're having problems with the seller after you purchase the item. They don't want to return the money. eBay, you have exhausted all possibilities through eBay trying to resolve this matter, and still nothing. Well, guess what? Your situation is protected. I think this service is wonderful because it helps bridge the gap between people who cannot afford to talk to an attorney about any situation. It helps bridge that gap, so we have that communication, and we don't feel like we're backed into a corner and just have to deal with whatever is thrown at us. With Legal Shield, our rights are protected. It's very important. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on here or go to my website, which is Daniesha80, DANIESHA 80.LEGALSHIELD Associate.com. There you can find other videos about our services. Thank you for watching this video. The next product I will be talking about is ID Shield. Stay tuned.